Just getting back from the gym. Had all intentions on getting this video up this morning, but I am here right now. Hey, but what I wanted to talk about in this video was to talk about loving ourselves more than we love other people. And as I've been preparing for my book, I was just reading a lot of different things that I had written years ago. The crazy thing is, this book has been in the making for 7 years. For whatever reason, it had been such a challenge for me to try to put this book together. And I know one of the things was to be vulnerable and to be open is a very hard thing to do. Because number one, you don't know how people will respond. And as much as we want to say what people say and how they feel about it doesn't matter, it does. Because when I tell you, after each video that I did or that I posted, I literally couldn't go to sleep. I had all these different things going on in my mind. And I literally had to shut my mind down. I had to pray and ask God, okay, God, just shut my mind down. Let me stop anticipating or thinking about people's reaction. Because the thing is, I can't control how people view what I did, how I did. And there probably are people that didn't agree with it or wonder, what was the purpose for it. But the one thing that I do know is that it healed so many areas in me, areas that I didn't even realize were scarred or broken. On one of the parts that I was going over today was looking at my childhood. And what I come to realize that a lot of the images as far as marriage and my desire to be married came from my childhood. And not only that, but I was always the good girl. And I always wanted to please my parents. So I had to stop as I was reading and writing this stuff. I was like, I was a people pleaser. And that's when it started, but it carried on even into adulthood. Whatever people wanted me to do, I did it. And in my mind, I was doing things because I care about people, just like with my parents. Whatever my parents told me to do, I did it. Didn't give any back talk. Well, they said I might have, I don't remember. But for the most part, as an adult, I honored my parents. And even in all relationships that I've had, friendships, work, whatever, I wanted to do my best. And I always looked at any situation that I was in or whatever I participated in. It was my job to make it better, to make it be the best that it could be. And that's a thing that's always been a part of me. And just looking at that and looking at the struggle that I had after my husband had passed was that Marietta never really knew who Marietta was. Because, like I said, looking at my childhood, I was trying to be the perfect child, the perfect daughter. Even now, still trying to do that. But on a different level, I've come to maturity in that. But just looking at how all those seeds were planted in me as a child and the insecurities that I had just kind of watered all of that stuff to where when I was faced with what was going on with my husband, I gravitated back to I need to do something. I need to make this better. And as women, by nature, we are nurturers. We take care of business. We handle, what needs to be handled. But I took it to a whole nother level with some of the stuff that I did in my marriage. I pretty much took on the role as the man. And because I did that, I was out of place because there are certain things as a man in a marriage that's their responsibility. And as women, we have our responsibility too. But I took on the role as the provider, the protector, literally. All those things that that the husband was supposed to do. And it wasn't that my husband couldn't do it. I just decided, shoot, I just need to do something. I got to take care of this, so it wasn't anything he asked me to do. But because of that, I got lost in all of this stuff. And then, like I said, even looking back on my childhood, I don't think I ever really knew how I was as a child outside of being the perfect child. So as an adult, being the one that everybody can call on. In the middle of the night, I tell folks I'm a light sleeper. If you need me, just call me. I'm woke. And I am. But I put myself out there as being all these things to all men, but being nothing to myself. And I don't believe that that's the way that God wanted my life to be or wants my life to be. Because in doing that, I wasn't productive. I wasn't helping anybody at all. As much as I thought I was helping my husband, I wasn't. I was making things worse for me. He was able to continue doing what he was doing until his death, but I'm still here after his death, and it took me years to get myself together and to figure out who I was, because I never in my life just consider what Marietta wanted outside of my parents, outside of work, outside of all these expectations of other people. I mean, people would used to tell me, oh, Marietta, you should do this. This is what having fun is, and this is what enjoying life. You need to do more. And I tried it, but at the end of the day, most of that stuff, that's not me. So I like going to Broadway plays. I like sitting on a couch watching some TV shows. I don't watch a lot of TV. Or just laughing. I love to laugh. I love to hear people laugh. I love to volunteer. I really do. For people that really need help with no expectation of getting anything returned from. I mean, I love those things. And it's not the most popular thing, for people to do, but this is who I am. And I've learned to be comfortable in who I am and not allow other people's expectations or views to dictate who I am, because that's how I got off track before. And I have to trust that what God has for me is only for me, and only He can give it to me. Not a man, not a relationship, not a friendship, not even my parents can give it to me. I have to trust, what He has for me, and that whatever I may not have is for a reason. Because a lot of times, especially for me, I think I struggle with, okay, I'm a Christian. There's certain promises that God has for me. I'm a minister. I know His word, a preacher's word, a teacher's word. I'm ordained elder. I know all of this stuff. So all of this stuff I should have. I should be married. I should have all of these things. But the thing where I slipped up at was that I was trying to get those things rather than trusting God to give it to me in His timing. Because when we move outside of His timing, we create more things that are that aren't necessary in our lives. We create heartache, we create sadness, and then we have the nerve to turn around and say, God, why you make this happen? Why is this happening to me? Dummy, you did it to yourself. God didn't have nothing to do with the choices that you made. Yeah, He said that He would give you the desires of your heart. But He said first, before He said that, delight yourself in me, not in yourself and what you want. Anyway, y'all know what I'm trying to say. We have to trust God for His direction. He knows what's best. Okay, if y'all don't know, I'm very silly. So y'all going to see a lot of that come out in this. But I love to laugh. I love to just enjoy life. But we just have to trust God that He truly knows what's best for us. It can't be just words that we say because it fits a situation. But even in those hard times, we have to really believe that and trust that He does. There's a scripture where it talks about men being evil know how to give good gifts to their children. And evil meaning, from our fallen nature. That if we know how to give good gifts to our children, how much more will our Heavenly Father do for us? The one that knows us, knows everything about us, the good, bad, and ugly. But yet he still loves us and he desires the best for us. So come on, we got to stand on what we know and not what we feel or not what we desire outside of what we know God has for us. He wants the best for us. He does. But the key is we have to trust that he wants the best for us and allow it to come forth in the way that he wants it to. It may not look like what we desired it to be, but in the end, it's going to be all good. So be blessed, people. Have a great week. Not sure how often I'm going to do these videos, but I am truly loving this transparent moment that I'm having, this liberty, not to go, crazy or anything like that, but the liberty to be honest, to rip off the Band-Aid and let some scars heal and let others see that I have scars. I'm not perfect. God knows I'm not perfect. I can go from ghetto to bougie in a minute. So, hey, or bougie to ghetto, at the snap of a finger. I mean, hey, it is what it is. I'm enjoying life and I'm enjoying this journey. So, why don't you guys hang with me for a little while longer and we see where this goes. If you want to reach out to me, I'm at Marietta Jones at iCloud.com. That's MarietttaJones at iCloud.com. You guys have a blessed evening, day. It is almost my bedtime. I go to bed at 10 o'clock, y'all. So it's like, and I got to take a shower. So I'll talk to y'all later. Have a blessed one.